If you want to take some copious notes, we're going to share some information. We won't keep you long, but we promise the information will be strong, Ms. Carter. And at the end, we're definitely, if you're on our Zoom platform, we're definitely going to allow you the opportunity to ask some questions. Ms. White, how are you? Mary Bell, Del Rio, Texas, we see you. Welcome. Ms. Brooks, we did not forget about you. How you doing, Mary Muse? Ms. Adora Uzoka, how you doing this evening? Carmelita Dilworth is in the house. How you doing? Made it to the line. Nashville, Tennessee, how you doing, Ms. B? Ms. Carter, how are you? Ladies and gentlemen, we got about 60 seconds and we're gonna kick off. If you've invited someone and you have some guests, this is your time to let them know we're gonna get started in less than 60 seconds and they do not wanna miss any of this important information on tonight. Tonight, we simply are selling dreams and we're showing people how to get your life back. So if that's you, you're in the right place at the right time. How you doing, Miss Maxine Chapman? Yvonne Ali, I see you, welcome. How you doing, Miss Nichols? Good to see you. Miss Edmonds, welcome. Miss Taylor, how are you on tonight? The dailies have made it, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Michelle Spence, how are you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the top of the hour. It is my privilege and pleasure to be your host on tonight. My name is Damian Goins. I hail out of College Park, Maryland, originally from Inglewood, California. I'm a principal by trade, so shout out to all my educators that are joining us on tonight. And tonight, we simply want you to sit back, relax, buckle your seatbelt, keep all loose articles in the vehicle at all times as we take a trip around the planet, right? So tonight, we're going to simply share with you two companies working in an exclusive partnership with one another that have literally revolutionized what we've been able to do. See, ladies and gentlemen, as an educator, I found myself working harder, but not being compensated for my efforts. If there's any of you that can relate to that, just type me. And so, you know, I went back to school to work on another degree, but that put me in student loan debt. If any of y'all can attest that having that student loan mafia chase you down, just go ahead and type me as well, right? But that afforded me to make my way through the ranks of education as a dean of students, an assistant principal, and now currently a principal here in the state of Maryland. And even though I make more money, how many of you would agree that they take more money? And so 3 years ago, I aligned myself with this company that we're going to share with you today, and literally it put me in a position to pay off all of my paying off all my credit card debt, to pay off a third of my student loans. And most importantly, I was able, excuse me, to retire my wife before the age of 35. And so if you're on the line and you want to simply pay off credit card debt, you're in the right place. If you want to get rid of student loans, you're definitely in the right place. If you're looking to retire, because Ms. Nichols, it's not about age. Retirement is solely about income. You are in the right place. And so we're literally in a posture and a position to help others do the same. And so if you're open, just say I'm ready. And because we simply want to share with you what was shared with us and see if it makes sense for you the same way it did for us. And so if you're ready to hear how you can simply change your life, just say I'm ready. And so many of you, as I just stated, I'm a principal. You did not know that you were signing up for night school. And so we're going to need you to participate tonight to get your participation grade. So the two companies we're going to share with you, the first one, as you see here, is Planet Marketing. If you're taking copious notes, you want to definitely write that down. This company has done some phenomenal things, and we literally are going to share with you how it can do some phenomenal things for you and your family, not just now, but some right now income. Let's jump right in. I need for each of you to imagine financial freedom. What would that mean for you, financial freedom? I need you to begin typing that in the comment section. Financial freedom. Once again, I need you to begin imagining. And what about personal freedom? What would that mean for you? What if you can wake up when you're done sleeping? What if you could take a one-way trip and not have to come back on Sundays to get ready for work on Mondays? What would personal freedom mean for you? And as you consider that, I need you to evaluate, what about time freedom? How many parents on the line would love to go do lunch with their children during the school day, be able to go on all the field trips? How about being able to just go shopping during the day, Or how about going to see a matinee? Anybody just would love to have time freedom, be able to determine when you can do what you want to do, how you want to do it, and however you wanted to do it. So today we want to show you, if you were the architect of your life, would it consist of you earning more money? If that's you, just type yes. Would it consist of you traveling more? If that's you, just type yes. Would you save more? Because how many of you believe that a dollar saved is the same as a dollar earned? And simply experience more. And so today we want to show you how to simply build a strong network of people by benefiting from e-commerce and doing what people are doing anyway, and that's traveling. I want to introduce you to the founder, chairman, and CEO of Planet Marketing, Mr. Donald Bradley. This gentleman has over 20 years of experience in the direct sale industry. But what I love about him is over the past 2 decades, this gentleman has generated a very strong 6- and 7-figure income. And his sole goal is to help more average people create an above average lifestyle. Any of you willing to sign up for that? To take just an average person, but you live above average. They're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And I love it because Planet Marketing is debt free. When he started the company, he started out of his own bank account. There were no investors. And so there was no one that has to cipher money, Crystal, that he has to pay. I love that. But even though he was great, he understood that in order to build other people's dreams, he needed to build a team. And so he went out and found the best of the best with Mr. Andy Kaufman. This gentleman has over 30 years of experience building global businesses. In fact, he took one company from tens of thousands to the $1 billion price point. That's huge. And then we needed customer support. So he went out and found the guru, Miss Leanne Treckler, who is the COO, who manages the support team. And we love her because we say Leanne is the man because she cuts the checks. But we needed a product. And how many of you know there's no sexier product than travel? See, we're not selling lotions or potions. We're not selling pills or Benadryls. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, we're simply selling beaches and oceans. That's huge. And so we found the originators of the home-based travel agency, and that's IntelliTravel. They've been around for 27 years. You believe after 27 years that they've dotted their I's and crossed their T's? Absolutely. So how does the partnership simply work? IntelliTravel sells travel. Planet Marketing sells travel agencies. That's their relationship. They're based out of Delray Beach, Florida, and they have all the accreditations and certifications necessary to operate in travel. So you may be saying, well, what's the CLIA? You wouldn't know that. It's okay. That's the Cruise Line International Association. If I asked you what was the ARC, you would say, Mr. Goins, I'm unfamiliar. That is the Airline Reporting Commission. But here's what I know. If I asked you about the BBB, each and every one of you would know. That is the Better Business Bureau. And we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Now that's huge, because if you can maintain an A+ rating after 27 years, how many of you know that this company is operating with the utmost integrity? So you may be saying, well, Mr. Goins, you're speaking highly of them because you are a business partner with them. And you're absolutely right. But what about third-party validation? See, here are the industry awards and recognitions that we've won throughout this past year. Norwegian Cruises, you've definitely heard of them. Breakout Agency of the Year. As you see, the Mark Travel Corp 500 Platinum Club. CLIA Premier member. And understand this, our founder, James Farrar, is one of 4 founders that sit on the CLIA board. Now that's huge. Here's what many of you may not know that we want to reveal to you tonight, that every booking that happens, there's a commission built in. So if you're booking on Orbitz, Expedia, and Priceline, there's a commission built into that transaction. The only way for you to extract it is through a travel professional. And so tonight, what about getting yourself out of the consumer seat and getting into the merchant seat? What does that simply mean? Instead of you just spending money, what about making money? Anybody open to that? Okay, I see some people saying yes. Perfect. See about moving this slide forward. Give us 1 second. We're going to definitely share with you how that, okay, I see some of y'all still saying yes, you open to that. All right. The computer is spinning. It's going to come back up. Give us 2 seconds. So let's just think around the opportunities for you when you talk about booking. How many of you have ever been on a committee for your family reunion? Any of you? After putting in all that work, what did you get? Maybe heartache and pain? But what about being able to be in a position to generate a commission from the work that you're already doing? What about if your children are in AAU? Anybody have to travel 3 to 4 months out of the year with your children, going from city to city to ensure that they got what they needed? Right? What about if you're in a fraternity or sorority like myself? What about being in a situation where you're going to districts, you're going to nationals, you're going to your regional events and generating a commission? Is that okay? Because you had to go anyway. And so what if you put together a trip for your line, for your chapter, for your region, and was able to generate a commission from that? Would that be something that would definitely be beneficial for you, for something that you had to do? Say it with me. Anyway. And so all the things possible are there for you with our company. Also, we have the ability to book sporting events, concerts. You're talking about NCAA basketball, NLB, NFL. So if you're a Redskins fan, a Dallas Cowboys fan, a New Orleans fans, you can now sell tickets to that event and generate a commission. Now that's huge. So think around that. And our company will pay you 70 to 80% of the commission for any travel booking that you book for a client. Think about that. Normally in a partnership, 50-50 is considered fair. But when you're generating 70%, the company definitely is giving you the lion's portion of that commission, right? And then when you have generated $5,000 in earnings, the company will now give you a raise to 80%. So for every $1 in commission, the company will pay you 80 cents and they'll keep 20 to run and operate the business. Now that's huge. And then think around the ways you can possibly make money. How many of you on the line joining us tonight know someone who travels frequently for business? What if you simply share with them your website, you let them know that you were in business, and they went to your site, they booked 3 times out of the month on your site, but you generated $151 in commission. Here's what I need you to think around. What bill could you take off the table with $151? Think about that for me. What could you do with $151 in commission? Type that in the comment section for me. Let me see what we have. Somebody said the phone bill, the electric bill. Okay. So what about this? What if you knew someone who was getting married and you said, hey, I'm gonna put together your honeymoon. I don't want you to become a bridezilla. So you took care of it. You send them to Cancun, Lisa. They stayed for 7 days. You even threw in butler service because guess what? You're now a travel professional. And guess what? They went, they had a great time. They had a great start to their new life. But when they got back home, you earned a commission of $561. Now, here's what I need you to think about. What bills could you take off your table with an extra $561 this month? Go ahead and type that in the chat area for me. This month, you got an extra $561. What bills could you take off your table? Somebody said the car payment, the lights, gas, and the cable. You must don't have FiOS. And what about a golf trip? Don't these individuals look like they're having fun? 5-day golf trip, Scottsdale, Arizona for 4. You had a great time, but when you got back, you generated a commission of $274. What would you do with an extra $274? And then we talked about this honeymoon, you earning this income of $561. But ladies and gentlemen, it gets better. What about a family cruise? You say, hey, we're gonna take the family on a cruise this year instead of going to LA or Detroit. You let the cruise line do all the heavy lifting. This is your opportunity to explore all the amenities on this ship. But after dealing with all your family issues, or your excitement rather, how many of you could use an extra $2,200 in commission? What bills could that take off the table for you? Could that remove the mortgage? All the car notes? Could it help with daycare? Just what would $2,200 do for you this month? And then, as I told you, we have partnerships with all the major vendors and suppliers in the travel space. So here are brands that you know and love. And then just like every occupation, there's professional development that must take place. But our professional development looks like other people's vacation. And we're going to simply share with you a few, and we want to just share with you what will be possible for you and your family. What about going to 5 days, 4 nights to Montego Bay? It will be your job to explore this property, find out if the water on the small pool is as warm as it is in the big pool. It will be your job to test out the massages on the beach. Your job is to try out the lobster and the steak. Ladies and gentlemen, all that hard research for $99 a person, not per night, per person. I'll stay in the Maryland, DC area. You cannot stay downtown at the National Harbor for $99 a night, let alone 5 days, 4 nights in Montego Bay. And then what about going to Disneyland? I don't care if you're 8 or 80, everybody loves Mickey Mouse. What about a 4-day, 3-night trip to Disney, Hopper Pass, VIP tour with the corporate executives on this particular trip? We paid $399. How many of you know that the parking at Disney could cost you $399? And then who would sign up to let this be your classroom for 8 days and 7 nights? On Royal Caribbean, it's your job to slide down the water slide, to go to the Captain Ball dinner, to sit on the Lido deck and work on your tan. Anybody open to letting this be your classroom? If that's you, just type me. If you would be a student that was a valedictorian. And we went simply on this trip, 8 days, 7 nights, $399 ocean view, $559 balcony. Where else can you do that? Right here. And then our company just changes the game. They have 3 guarantees. The first is the best travel price guarantee. That's for your client. The company says if you book a package for a friend, family, or customer, and they find it anywhere cheaper within 7 days, and it's apples to apples, they will meet the price, beat the price, or pay 110% of the difference in a travel voucher for their next vacation. The second guarantee is for you. It is 100% money back guarantee. The company says if you get involved and in 29 and a half days, if you find out that the trips are too exotic and the commissions are overflowing your bank account, you can walk away, no questions asked. And the third one is a risk-free profit guarantee. Keisha, I've never heard of those 4 words in the same sentence. But here, our company says if you work your business for a 12-month calendar year and you have not saved on your own personal travel or made more with travel commissions than it costs you to operate your business, they will cut you a check for the difference and get you back even. If you're a traditional business owner on the line, you can attest to the fact that when you invested in your business, they share with you, don't expect to see a profit for 3 to 5 years. Our company says we're going to shift that paradigm and ensure you get back even within your first year. So what have they done? They've taken all the fear, all of the doubt, and all of the unbelief out of the equation. And so they've made it a risk-free. And that's huge. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is IntelliTravel. We showcase for you our travel product. And I just want to do what we call in the field of education, a check on learning. How many of you understand and realize that the travel made sense? If that's you, just type yes, so that we know that the travel made. Gina, I see you with your hand raised. All right, Karen, I got you. Alicia, the dailies, we got the couple that agree. All right. Travis, I'm with you, brother. Anitra, I got you. Candy, I'm with you. Carmelita, perfect. Miss Mary Gail, Belinda, Mace, Gina, I see you. Mary Muse said it makes sense. All right, because we want to ensure that it makes sense so that we can definitely show you how it can continuously make money. So we showed you how to add income, but what about multiplying your income? How many of you know that if you found out that something was good, you would absolutely share it? Think about it. You tasted a good product, you shared it. You drank a good beverage, you shared it. You found a good restaurant, you told people about it. If you go to a barber or beautician and they do your hair well, you share it. So what about being able to share with your friends, family, colleagues, the ability for them to benefit from travel the same way you do? And our second company, Planet Marketing, will compensate you for the referral. I love that because it's a business model that a lot of multi-million-dollar and billion-dollar companies are now adopting. If you agree with this, just type agree. How many of you have ever gone into your bank and they've run a promotion that says if you get a friend or family to open up an account, we'll put $100 in your account? How many of you would agree with that? Or what if you've ever lived in an apartment complex? Have you ever seen a property management company run a promotion that says, if you get a friend or family to sign a lease, we'll take $500 off your next month's rent? What do those businesses understand? That there's a higher probability of getting a new customer or client through a relationship called a referral than an advertisement. So our company IntelliTravel understands that more people can learn about being their own travel professional by friends, family, and colleagues than spending millions of dollars on TV ads. And so we're going to share with you how it's possible for you. Our company has put together a leveraged income package, right? So every time you share this information with someone and they say it makes sense and they partner with you in business, Natalie, the company will pay you $50 in a direct commission. I love that because it's predictable income and it's work that you did. But what about generating income from work you don't do? So Tim, how about this? What if you went out and shared that with Timothy? Or with Timothy, you shared it with Keisha. Keisha says, I love to travel. It makes sense. She partners with you, Tim. You're going to make $50. But here's what I love. Let's say Keisha went out and shared it with Tina. Tina says, I love to travel and I would love to have some extra income. If Tina partnered with Keisha, she would make the exact same $50 that was afforded to you because that's fair. But do you know when Tina made 50, the company's going to give you a 50% match, not from her income, but of her income, because the bonus comes from the company. Why would Keisha struggle, Tim, if on the day she got paid, you got a check too? Because the company wants to reward you for introducing them to a superstar like Keisha. And then what about team bonuses? In corporate America, we call them raises. But here, our raises start at $10 and cap out at $60. How many of you remember when you used to sit across the table from a supervisor and argue and debate about a 50-cent raise? But now we're talking about $10 all the way up to $60. So at its peak, that $50 can be $110. That $25 can be $85 for work you don't do. And then we have a builder program that just recognizes you for your growth. So the first level is bronze, meaning you partner with 3 independent travel agents that we affectionately call ITAs. At 6, you'll be considered a silver builder. And at 9, you'll be considered gold. And like the Olympics, we're asking everybody to shoot for the gold. Why is that, Tim? Because 3 more income streams open up for you. The first one is that first level of team bonus. So for every transaction now, an extra $10 get added. So instead of 50, you make 60. Instead of 25, you now make 35. And any other transactions that happen 9 levels deep, you'll just start getting $10 showing up in your account. That's huge. And then, Tim, what about this? What about a 10% match on your personal business partner's travel commission? So let's go back to our example. Let's just say Keisha booked that family trip, that cruise, and the commission was $2,200. Keisha would get every penny of that $2,200. But Tim, do you know that you would get an override of $220 from the company and you don't even know who went on the cruise? And then there's a 10% override on your personal reps matrix commission. And we haven't talked about it, but I'm so glad you asked. This right here is our team build matrix. And it simply works this way. In order to unlock the first 2 levels of your matrix, you simply have to partner with 2 people. And it will unlock your first 2 levels. On your first level, you can only have 3 people. Your second, you can only have 9. The company will pay you out $4 for every person that hits your matrix. So as you see at the first 2 levels, when it maxes out and gets filled, you will have $48 per month residual. Why are bronze builders excited? Because when you partner with your third person, you now have $156 of income potential available to you every month. Our silver builders are elated because every month, by simply partnering with 6 people, you have over $4,300 a month available to you when your matrix fully matures. And then our gold builders are just absolutely overjoyed because when their matrix fully matures over time, they will have access to over $118,000 per month. So remember, Tim, whatever Keisha generates out of this matrix, you'll receive a 10% override. So let's just say she generated the $39,000. Would you be okay generating an extra $3,000 from work you did not do? That's huge. Now, if this 6 figures then cause you to sit up a little taller and open your ears a little wider, what about another 6 figures? And it is our director program, and it is the envy of the industry. Our company says when you have grown to 100 active agents, you will begin generating another stream of income called our director bonuses. And at 1 star, at 100 people, not that you've personally sponsored, but that you and your team have grown to, the company will begin paying you an additional $500 stipend to start your month. And it pays out on the 1st of every month. So that's a $6,000 raise. So Sandra, what do you have to do on your job to get a $6,000 raise this year? Is it even possible? That was huge for me because as a principal, I'm salaried. And so there was no additional income I had at my disposal. And then as you see, when it goes to 2 star, they're going to double that stipend to $1,000. And as you see, all the way to 9 star. But here's what I would love to share with you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some 1 stars. We have some 2 stars. We have some 3 stars and some 4. We have 2 families that are at 5 star. And we have 1 gentleman has just eclipsed 6 star. 7 through 9 is still available. Why do I mention that? Because other companies parade in front of you people who have maxed out their plan. What that simply means for you is time is come and gone. Here, we're simply sharing with you that we're still on the ground floor running, and you can absolutely catch this plane before it takes off. Then we have a Ring and Rolex program, signifying the income that you've generated. And this is from the heart of the founder. Me and my wife have been blessed to be one of the 32 families that have received the Sapphire Ring, indicating earnings of over $8,333 on a monthly basis. I love it, ladies and gentlemen, because this company pays me more monthly than my school district does. And simply by staying committed and doing some work. Then we have some families that have the Ruby ring, income over $20,833. 3 individuals are going to be receiving, will have received the diamond ring, and 1 gentleman will be receiving the double diamond. And when you hit 5-star, the company just gives you a $20,000 diamond encrusted Rolex watch. Now, Carrie, if you're like me, I would never spend $20,000 on a watch, but if they're giving them away, I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm going to go ahead and take it. Who else agrees with me? Here's our income disclosure statement that we actually submitted to the IRS for 2018. As you can see on the low end, we have people that got in just for their own personal travel. They didn't work their business, but they saved on their travel, so they generated no income. But on the high end, for just a rep, a person that has less than 9 people, they made an extra $36,000 on the side. What would you have done if you were able to generate an extra $36,000 part-time? And as you see, it goes to 1-star all the way to 5-star. Our number 1 income earner last year generated over $771,000 last year. He's already on a path to eclipse $1 million this year. This right here is probably the most prolific and profound slide in the entire presentation. And it is our Planet Marketing Pledge. And it simply says, become a Planet Marketing Director. Feel secure in knowing that in the event of your death, the business you've built will outlast you. That's called a legacy. That means the company will still be sending to your family your weekly commissions, director pay, director bonuses, and monthly residual income. I feel so relieved in knowing that my wife will still generate the income we've created even after I've transitioned on to the other side. How many of you know that on your job, the moment you stop working with them, if you were to become deceased, they're going to stop paying you instantly. Your life insurance policy is going to pay out one time. It's going to take care of all of your debt. It's going to put you in the ground. But how much more money will your family have to live off for years to come? And I love that we have a turnkey business. We have all of the tools and resources in place for you to be successful. And so if you're able to learn the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s, we absolutely can share with you and show you how to be successful. We have major events. Our national convention is in Orlando, Florida, and that will take place in 2019 and 2020. Why is that important? Because you see that the company is not planning on going anywhere, but we're here to stay. This will just recap for you the 7 streams of income that can be in your home if you simply make the decision to get involved. The direct commissions of $50 up front, the 50% matches, right? The 6 levels of $10 team bonuses, the 10% override on travel commission, the 10% override on the matrix commission, the $4 paid out in the matrix, your residual income, and your director bonuses. When was the last time that you had 7 income streams at your disposal? And I know many of you are chomping at the bit and asking the question, Mr. Goins, well, how do I get started? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I get excited to simply share with you this next slide. For less than the cost of your smartphone, you can get involved in the largest industry in the world, own $1 million business, generate income for you and your family, and take your bucket list trips and check them off your list. We're talking $199. And here's what I love. I paid more for my Apple phone than we did for this business. And here's what people say. Well, is there overhead? Yes, every business has overhead, but ours is so nominal that it's almost funny. It's only $59 a month. Think about this, because people say, well, $59 to keep business? Yes. How much do you pay in your bill every month? Is it more than $59? And that's money going out. But what about paying $59 to have money come in? Because see, that $59 a month has opened me up to being a six-figure income earner part-time. And I don't say that to impress you, but to impress upon you what that small nominal fee could avail you to. Because let's just talk about it, Mark. Let's just round that 200, that 199 up to 200, and let's round that 59 up to 60. See, that $200 is less than the cost of Air Jordans. You may get the Air, but you won't get the Jordan. And that $60, that's $2 a day, less than the cost of a cup of Starbucks every day. And then the two slides just show you how it will be broken out. 19 of that 199 will go to Planet, 179 will go to IntelliTravel, and you will be up and running with two businesses in a multi-million-dollar company in a trillion-dollar industry. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to simply take out your number 2 pencil and you get to bubble in your Scantron sheet and determine, is this not for me and my life is fine and I'm not looking for time freedom or financial freedom? We say thank you, but no thank you. And we say we appreciate you sharing and honoring your commitment for joining this webinar. You may say, I have a few questions. In just a few moments, if you're on the Zoom platform, we're going to answer your questions for you. If you are on Facebook Live, you definitely want to convert over because we will be having a Q&A on that Zoom platform. And if you were like me, just sick and tired of being sick and tired, working too hard and know you deserve more and your family deserve more, and you just needed the vehicle to drive you to your dream, well, ladies and gentlemen, you found it, and we would love to help you reach your dream. Because we understand that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. But I would simply share with you, don't think about mile 1,000. Just think about step number 1. And I want to be the first to say, welcome to the best place on the planet. So if you have joined us on Facebook Live, we want to say thank you for sharing with us this evening. If you want to join us on the Q&A, definitely get on zoom.us. And our meeting ID is 805-842-230. Once again, that's zoom.us. And our meeting ID is 805-842-230. And we definitely will answer any questions that you have in a most transparent way. And so for those of you on Facebook Live, we want to say thank you. Have a great evening. And we will welcome all of you that will be coming over to Zoom.